Education as we know it is changing. This year, Idaho schools are implementing Common Core.
There continues to be plenty of debate over the new standards. But what does Common Core really look like once it's implemented in the classroom? In tonight's Making the Grade, I take you inside one local school district that's ahead of the curve.
Walk into the Advanced Placement English class at Valley View High School, and you cannot miss the impact of Idaho's new education standards. Teacher Brandon Balliard plastered the Common Core guidelines to his walls.
It's not curriculum, it's just kind of our guideposts for the skills that we want students to develop and then to be able to take with them off to college or to their careers.
Common Core does not dictate what books students must read. Instead, it requires these seniors to read challenging material and go deeper, proving their opinions and theories both in traditional essay form and orally.
There's no way I can grade somebody on their opinion. That's not my job. But can they produce a valid claim and then support it with evidence and then warrant that argument?
It's that kind of critical thinking Kathy Yenny hopes will help her achieve her dream of becoming White House Chief of Staff.
We are not being pushed to believe a certain thing. We are all allowed to have our own morals, our own values, our own opinions. And so the fact that we're working to cooperate together with different beliefs in this kind of discussion-based learning system is really cool.
Pyramid. You know what to spell a pyramid, right?
Second graders at Desert Springs Elementary are identifying shapes, but look closely. These students are not just filling out a packet. Idaho core standards in language arts and math emphasize collaborating in groups to build conversation and reasoning skills. Plus, teachers must now implement technology at every grade level. So in Miss Hampton's class, these 7-year-olds will check their answers by scanning a QR code with an iPad.
How are we doing here?
Good.
Numbers good.
In 4th grade, using technology for math is the norm.
It's very rare that we do worksheets anymore. It's awesome.
Teaming up, students figure out equations on the iPad and then use microphones to record an explanation of how they solve the problem.
So how does it all work?
So 1/2 would be equal to 5/10. How? Because since 1 is half of 2 and 5 is half of 10.
Because we know that 10 is the whole and half of 10 is 5.
Nice job, boys.
The children can then email their work to their teacher, who not only checks for the right answer, but also listens to hear if her students really understand the concept.
Does it help get in your brain better by doing it this way?
Yeah,
How so? Why do you like get it more?
I get it more because the person that is doing it is explaining how they got the answer.
So you're not just seeing something on a piece of paper or on an iPad. You get to actually hear it explained to you.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
It's kind of like teaching it.
And if I can't explain it well enough, you know what? A lot of times there's a kid in here that can explain it in kid language better than I can.
At every level, teachers admitted, without a set curriculum to follow, their preparation takes much longer. But they also enjoy the freedom of seeing what clicks and immediately making changes when something doesn't. The standards also force teachers to interact more with small groups of students, many times personalizing their teaching.
So the water level's what? Water level's like what on a number line?
It's 0.
The 0. There you go.
Brad Hill calls himself an old school teacher who was not thrilled with Common Core. 2 years later, though, he's seen how each 7th grader can tailor math to fit their own learning style and find success.
And we want kids to be able to problem solve on their own and not just have a teacher sit up there and say, this is the only way to do it.
This more free-form thinking can be aggravating for parents trying to help with homework. In the Valley View District, administrators have held math nights to bring parents up to speed. Educators understand the frustration and say it's just part of the learning curve as everyone adapts to Common Core.
Be patient. Ask the teacher. I mean, really, if you're not sure and you're trying to figure out how best to help your child, ask the teacher. Google it.
I would hope from the teacher perspective that parents would have some trust in us. We're professionals who, our goal is to help students be successful.
The success or failure of the new standards will take time to measure. But if stories from Valley View students are any indication, they're up to the challenge.
I have lunch right after this class, and so I'm sitting with my friends, and all of a sudden we're talking about English, what we learned in English, and so it's a little different because I usually don't talk about like school and things like that, but the discussions in class I think are really good, and so you can talk with other people and then maybe get their ideas about certain things.
That kind of makes me feel like, oh, well, Common Core really is preparing me for the real world.
All right, so you want to read more about Idaho's core standards? We have put a link for you on our website. Just go to IdahoOnYourSide.com and click Making the Grade under the News tab.
And all this month on Your Side, we'll be taking a closer look at different aspects of the new standards. We'd like your feedback about what's happening in your child's school. Send us an email with your thoughts.